If you're still waiting for a paycheck to make you wealthy in 2026, you've already lost the game before it even started. For the ultra-rich, earning an income isn't a goal, it's a massive tax mistake that they've spent decades engineering their way out of. While the rest of us follow the traditional script of working, saving, and paying our fair share, there is a hidden machine running in the background, one that turns wealth into an infinite, tax-free loop. It's not about offshore accounts or secret islands, it's about a boring, yet devastatingly powerful weapon called debt. Imagine holding a $100 million portfolio and needing cash, but instead of selling and handing millions to the government, you simply use your life as collateral. You borrow the cash, keep the assets, and watch your tax bill drop to exactly zero. This is buy, borrow, data philosophy that resets the clock on wealth every generation while the rest of society is left to fund the roads, the schools, and the defense of a system they can't even access. As governments get desperate and start whispering about new wealth taxes to close the gap, an economic collision is coming. The question isn't just whether this is fair, it's whether the architects of this machine are about to leave you holding the bill. Today, we're taking that machine apart to see what's really inside. You work. You earn a salary. You pay taxes on that salary. You save what's left, and you invest it. That is the script you were handed. It's the script most of us follow, start to finish. But there is a different script. One written for a handful of people, the ones whose net worth is measured in the hundreds of millions or billions. For them, earning an income is a tax mistake. Selling assets to pay for a lifestyle is a failure of strategy. In 2026, the gap between how the ultra-wealthy handle money and how the rest of us do isn't just about the amount of money they have. It's about the mechanics of the system they've built around themselves. It is a machine designed to do one thing, turn wealth into an infinite, tax-free loop. And if you aren't using this machine, you are essentially paying a tax on your own existence that they simply don't recognize. Today, we are taking that machine apart. We're living in a strange economic moment. Governments are staring at massive deficits. Every major economy is looking for revenue. We're seeing whispers and actual proposals, like new wealth taxes, designed to catch what income taxes miss. But here's the irony, the harder the system tries to capture that wealth, the more refined the avoidance infrastructure becomes. To understand why this matters, you have to stop thinking about money as currency and start thinking about it as collateral. Let's talk about the secret. It's not an offshore bank account in the Caymans. It's not a shell company in a tax haven. It's something much more boring, and much more powerful. It's debt. Here is the basic equation for the person with a $100 million portfolio. If they sell $10 million worth of stock to buy a yacht or a house, they trigger a capital gains tax. That's millions of dollars gone to the government. They've now lost the ability for that $10 million to grow, plus they've lost the tax money. Instead, they go to a private bank. They say, I have $100 million in stock. I need $10 million in cash. Use my stock as collateral. The bank loves this. They aren't taking much risk, it's a secured loan. The billionaire gets the $10 million, cash in hand. Now, look at the math. Is that $10 million considered income? No. It's a loan. Loans aren't taxable. They have the cash. They have their original stock, which continues to appreciate. And they have a tax bill of exactly zero. This is where the story shifts from clever accounting to an entirely different class of reality. If you do this once, it's a strategy. If you do it for 40 years, it's a philosophy. It's often called buy, borrow, die. You buy assets that appreciate. You borrow against them to fund your life. And when you die, this is the kicker. When they die, the assets are passed to their heirs. In many jurisdictions, those assets get a step up in basis. The value of the stock is reset to its current price. All those decades of growth? The capital gains tax liability just vanishes. The debt is paid off by the estate, and the heirs inherit a massive, clean fortune. The taxman never sees the gain. He never sees the income. He just sees a transfer of wealth that, on paper, looks like it never grew in the first place. Now, don't mistake this for magic. It carries real risk. If you borrow against your stock and the market tanks, you get a margin call. You're forced to sell at the bottom. But billionaires don't hold volatile, speculative assets to fund their lives. They hold diversified, massive-scale equity. They hold the pillars of the global economy. The hype you see on social media, the get-rich-quick crypto flips or the aggressive day trading strategies, that's for people who need to build wealth. The strategy we're talking about is for people who need to keep it and compound it. It's the difference between playing a game of checkers and playing a game of architecture. They aren't trying to win a round. They are building a building that lasts for a century. Why is this a problem? When a significant portion of the world's wealth is essentially locked in a loop of tax-advantaged debt, the tax burden of maintaining the society, the roads, the infrastructure, the defense shifts entirely onto the people who do have income. The people who get a W-2. The people who pay taxes every single time they move a dollar. It creates a system where the growth of a nation's wealth is decoupled from the funding of a nation's survival. And as we head deeper into 2026, we're starting to see the friction. Governments are getting desperate. They are proposing wealth taxes that target the assets themselves, not just the income. But you know what happens when you start taxing the assets? You force the liquidity issue. You force the billionaires to sell. And when they sell, they trigger the market volatility that could hurt everyone else. It's a fragile, interconnected mess. So here is the thought-provoking reality. The system isn't broken. It's functioning exactly as it was designed to. It rewards ownership, it rewards patience, and it rewards those who can navigate the debt markets. The secret isn't that they're smarter than you. The secret is that they are playing a different game with a completely different set of rules. If the world moves toward taxing wealth rather than taxing income, will this machine eventually grind to a halt? Or will the people who own the machine simply build a new one, somewhere else, in a different currency, or a different jurisdiction? We are watching an economic evolution in real time. And the question isn't whether it's fair. The question is, who is going to adapt, and who is going to be left holding the bill? What do you think? Should a system that allows people to live off of debt without ever triggering a tax event be allowed to continue, or is the math finally catching up to the architects? I'll let you decide.